Camp, as an athlete, explain your perspective of what it was like to go from an idea to where it's at now.
Anytime you have a dream come to fruition, that's life, right? That's what it's all about.
The body of the boot is a cast polyurethane. It's clear so you can see the 360 Baron Reaper camo. Cam's put it through hundreds of miles already, had zero issues with it, so it's the best performance fit we can find.
Having a good relationship with the designer, it allowed us just to create a kick-ass boot.
It's a massive team effort, and Under Armour supported it from day one, so we're very fortunate for that.
Both of you guys, what was your favorite moment throughout this process?
This.
Good evening, everyone. I appreciate you spending your evenings with us. My name is Matt Wewell. I'm with Under Armour. I'm extremely excited to be up here. Cam, along with many of these people within this room right here, they've spent an unimaginable amount of time and resources and dedicated their craft to better men and women in their hunting pursuits. And to honor and celebrate the keep hammering mentality, we're going to get right into it. Sean right here, Sean Denniston, he is our lead footwear designer for the revolutionary boot that you're about to see. Sean's been roughly under a decade in the outdoor industry. He's spent the last 5 years with Under Armour. He comes to Vegas and SHOT Show on the heels of completing his first ultra mountain race and celebrating the fact that he didn't finish dead last. Sitting between Sean and I, we've got Cam Hanes. You all know him. Cam's probably ran a couple ultras in his lifetime. If it wasn't for his flight this morning, he probably would have ran one today. You can go ahead and call Cam Hanes a hunter, a runner, a lifter, but let's be honest, he's a straight-up athlete. And just like any athlete at the top of their game, they deserve a signature shoe. But in this case, Cam's getting the ultimate backcountry boot. Introducing the Under Armour CH1 GTX boot. We're going to jump right into it. We'll let these guys kind of break down the boot, talk it through all technical sides of things, explain what it was like to work with one another in the entire process. So let's start off with Cam. Cam, how are you feeling right now watching that curtain come undone?
I feel like it doesn't seem real to me, to be honest. I remember coming to SHOT Show maybe 10 years ago, and I was like overwhelmed. ATA Show is a little bit different. I know a lot of people there. It's a little smaller community. At SHOT Show, I'm thinking, what am I doing here? This is, I don't know. It's unreal. And then that whole introduction and all that, I honestly don't feel deserving because all I've ever done is just my passion, just what I love. I don't consider myself, anything special, and so it seems unreal that I would have a signature boot. This journey has been. I was explaining in back. We had a little PR thing, and when I first started hunting, I told the story. I don't know if I couldn't afford it. Probably I couldn't afford it, or if there wasn't any good boots that I knew about anyway. But I used to have boots, and then like Wonder Bread bags, so I'd have socks, Wonder Bread bags, socks, and then the boot. And so that I'm like, hey, I'm good to go now. My feet are going to stay dry. So that's how it started for me. And I don't feel like any different of a person from that kid basically who started hunting. I still love it just as much. I still think about it every day. I'm still motivated by the same things, and that's just being in the mountains and feeling at home there. And I don't feel like I've changed at all. The product has changed. The support of a company like Under Armour has changed a little bit. And of course, SHOT Show has changed for me. But it's been an amazing journey, and I feel I don't feel deserving, but I feel very honored to be here.
Wonderful. Sean, how about you just explain kind of your role in this process before you break down the boot from top to bottom?
My role from the beginning is, we have Cam, we work with Cam on a lot of product, and why didn't we have a boot for him? Like it didn't make sense. So if there's anybody that can affect it, it's us. So we went ahead and threw that idea out there. It seems to have stuck after some time. So yeah, we just been getting after it for almost 3 years now. So we're super excited and proud to have gotten here.
How about you break down the boot now?
Okay. It's got a lot in it, so get comfortable. The opening, you can tell, it's a non-traditional circumference. It's pretty narrow, so we want that to be an intimate fit, maximum agility from the get-go, right as you get in the boot. It also, with not having as much surface area, prevents debris from getting inside, so that's may not look sexy, but it's considered as everything is considered here. So the tone you will notice is also non-traditional. It's lacking a lot of foam, but it's anatomically molded for that perfect fit as your foot curves up into your shin bone. So we want to reduce materials there, but maintain comfort. And so as we move into the body of the boot is a cast polyurethane. It's clear, so you can see the 360 Baron Reaper camo.
I'll just interject. Sean and I met like 3 years ago, and I said there's a few things that I wanted, and then he'll address how he brought those to life. I wanted it light because I'm active. I'm in the mountains like a lot of Western hunters are. And so this boot comes in at 30 ounces, which for a waterproof, durable boot is very light. And that's, as I explained, ounces are pounds. You go through the course of a week or a 10-day hunt, and those ounces that you've been lifting every single stride, that adds up. And so what I've noticed in this journey as a hunter, on day one, I'm fired up, I'm fresh, I'm strong. And then as the week went on, I would get more fatigued and more tired. And then I'd start taking shortcuts instead of keeping the wind right and making a big circle. I might take a shortcut and think maybe I can cheat the wind a little bit here. And that's just, I was getting lazy and tired. And so that's my goal is to be in as good a shape as I can, but then also control the variables. And boots are a variable where dry feet, light. One other thing, you guys have seen toe caps before. This is, for me, in my experience, is always a weak spot on a boot, because when you're in the mountains, you're kicking rocks a lot. Moisture gets in there, it dries, it gets wet, it dries, it gets wet, and so creases are formed. And so I wanted that toe cap very durable. And then the sole was a very important part. I explained to Sean, I said, you guys probably know air bob soles. They're very, very tacky, very sticky. If I'm on a slope or if I'm in a boulder field and I'm trying to go across, I don't want to have to worry about the sole of my boot slipping out. And then that's when you fall and you're 10 miles back and you break your sight on your bow, or you chip your limb, and then all of a sudden that's in your head. You're like, now I got to think about my bow, or you hit your elbow and so I wanted a boot that's not going to kick out, but it's also going to be so an air bob sole wouldn't really last. Those are very soft. So we needed to get air bob like tackiness but durability. And then how Sean created this was just enough lugs on here to give you grip, but then also shed the mud. It's waterproof, of course, Gore-Tex, and then I really want him to explain the Boa latching system. Basically, it takes the place of the laces, but in my experience, this bottom part of the boot, even with really good boots, is very hard to get tight. I mean, you can pull on those laces and you just can't get down there without unlacing the whole boot, trying to get down there. And then you're pulling on it and you might pull and it's just not getting tight around your foot. So with that foot movement in the mountains side to side, that's where those blisters are created. But with this double Boa here, we can this tightens up down the bottom half, and then the top one tightens the top half. And it allows that boot to come around your foot, and then there is no friction, there's no movement, there's nothing like that. And then he will explain too, even on to shave weight. So down here, this material is thicker, and then it gets lighter up here. It gets a little thinner up here. You just don't need, you guys have seen boots before that are as thick up here as they are down here, and you're like, I know I've looked at a boot, I'm like, why am I packing all this weight up here? It's doing absolutely nothing. I don't need it up there. And so Sean addressed that with this design. So that's kind of where the vision started. And I was just like, they said, what do you want in the ultimate boot? And was willing to just make it happen. And so that was my vision. And then now he can explain how he made that a reality.
So yeah, what you're saying, it's from the get-go, it's been about making the most athletic hunting boot for the most athletic of hunters, and Cam is that person, so it drove the whole process from start to finish. I'll touch real quick on the Boa system. It is, as Cam mentioned, zonally considered, so that upper shaft, we get that lockdown. When you're packing out, you have more weight, extra support in the upper, and then the lower Boa does all that fine-tuning when you're going ascending or descending. So you need more lockdown as you're in the lower in the forefoot as you're moving downhill with weight, and you just dial that in, and you're good. It's stainless steel cable, so the cable will not break. Boa has a lifetime warranty, so we're not concerned. Cam's put it through hundreds of miles already, had zero issues with it, so it's the best performance fit we can find.
Now, you guys were in a unique situation because unlike other athletes that have signature footwears like Steph Curry, Cam Newton, you guys live within 100 miles of each other. So go through the process of what it was like to be able to be that close to one another, address the needs, go through the prototypes, quickly make the adjustments. How often did you guys get together? How often did you get on the phone? What did you do?
Sean, I know he came down at least once and around the mountain with me, right? Yeah, so I mean, it was good. We'd make excuses to kind of get together a little bit, and we were so excited about the project. Actually, the biggest challenge was not sharing too much to where either one of us got in trouble. It's like, hey, this is all top secret stuff. You can't show that picture. You can't show this or that. So that's actually the hardest thing for me, because when I'm fired up about something, a year, I might be dead next week. So I hate thinking about a year is like may never come. So that was a challenge, but it was very nice having Sean close. And then I liked his vision. I liked his, he did some trail running shoes, some prototypes, and he'd put little things, little custom things. Like I have some that say "Legends Never Die" in reference to my friend Roy Roth. And so there's little customized tie-ins that I like. Sean, of course, the boot is amazing, but as hunters, I know as a bow hunter, I like my fletch to be this color. I like my wraps to be like this. We have these little customized little things that mean a lot to us, and that's one of the cool things I like about Sean is his sketchbooks on designing these boots. There's a lot of personal touch in there too, and so having a good relationship with the designer, and probably to what you were alluding to, whereas maybe some of the other athletes didn't have that. It was just kind of a unique situation, but it allowed us, besides all just the cool factor, just to create just a kick-ass boot. And so that was a number one goal, and then we had some little bonus features too.
All right, going on top of that then, Sean, obviously you two are up here talking about the boot. You were the lead designer, but there's many people, many departments, other factors other than just the design team that plays a role in something like this coming to life. Just could you explain the various departments and their roles and what it was like? Who else contributed to bringing Cam's vision to life?
Yeah, it's a massive team effort, and Under Armour supported it from day one. So we're very fortunate for that. But we have developers, engineers, marketing, legal people. From top down, it's no less than 50 people involved on this. So It's a huge team effort, and Under Armour has the team that were resourced to do it properly.
Going back to the wear testing process, was there certain things or certain activities that you needed and you told Cam, hey, we want you to do this, or was it just kind of a free fall?
Yeah, we wanted him to do what he would do on a normal basis, which is more than most of us will do all year. So do that every day, put it to more tests, wear it without socks, with socks, any type of conditions, just, get it to the point of failure.
Was there anything, Cam, that you knew you had to do in order to make sure that it got the Cam Hanes stamp of approval?
What I wanted, yeah, I mean, I wore it on all my hunts this year, so I had 4 consecutive elk hunts, and that's, I don't, of course this is business. It's why this whole building's filled with vendors and manufacturers, but it's not a business to me. This is what I love. So I don't care about marketing, legal team, and I don't care about any of that. All I care about is this going to help me be successful on my elk hunts? I live for elk season, and the fact that I still have a regular job, I still go to work every day, except I'm using vacation right now. But for the fact that I get all September off because I've been at my job so long is all I care about. And if the equipment I have isn't going to help me like live my dream and kill bulls and do what I think about every day, I'm not going to use it. I don't care what's at stake. I don't care about anything else. So all Sean and Under Armour wanted me to do, use it. Let me know what let them know what I think about it. And I killed 4 bulls this year on 4 hunts. My feet were never a distraction to me. I was able to, instead of thinking about my feet or durability of my boot or anything else, I was thinking about what do I need to do to kill that bull. Feet are a big part of any backcountry or any mountainous hunt, is keeping your feet healthy. And so all I did, I wore them, I used them, no issues whatsoever, and I achieved my goal.
You were talking, just right there, talking about being able to focus and not have the distraction. What is it about the boot that literally provides you a distraction-free mind, so that way you can go out in the field and do what you do best?
I don't know. It just doesn't create issues on its own. There's no issues. There's no, my feet weren't wet. There was no hot spots. The one thing that we did change that I was just thinking about right now is, so the first version, and the version I have, actually has a strap around the top over this boa right here, and it's Velcroed. And I'm a big, if I'm going to close in on an animal with my bow, I only bow hunt, but I take my boots off a lot, and I'm just in my socks. Well, there's a bull in Utah, and I had him in a perfect position, and I took that strap and it was like really slowly tried to rip that Velcro, and it was like dead quiet for whatever reason. The wind laid down, and they heard the animals heard the Velcro, so no more Velcro. So it's just stuff like that. It's just like you can't have equipment that's going to sabotage your hopes and dreams, because especially in bow hunting, it's the line between success and failure is razor thin, and you have to have everything on your side. The animal has to make a mistake. You have to do your job, and all I want is equipment, especially boots, that are going to allow me just to do what I do, what I prepare for every day. So that's the boot we kind of tried to create.
Now, Sean, you've been with Under Armour for 5 years. You went through the technical jargon of everything within the boots makeup. How, from your role, how has UA footwear, UA outdoor footwear evolved from 5 years ago when you started to now?
Right now, we're more focused on the hunter athlete than ever before, and that's going to be our focus moving forward. Is how athletic is our hunters making themselves, and their endeavors are further and faster out. We need to solve for those problems, come up in those conditions, or as they push themselves.
Now, in the back in previous conversations, we kind of briefly talked about in the past some of the product coming out, within Under Armour, a lot of technology and innovation is shared with one another and from cross categories, anywhere from training being adopted by golf or outdoor adopting something from golf and vice versa. What you were telling me that what within this boot right here, you're kind of like returning the favor and giving back to the other categories. Could you explain a little bit about what's going on in that realm?
Really, outdoors leading the way with a lot of our vision about our athletes and our focused performers. We do use technologies cross-categorically, obviously. This boot provided amazing testing for our trail running shoes, and we learned a ton from that. You know, how to dial back the protection when it's not necessary and how to dial up when it is necessary. So that's one element. There's also some stabilizing in this boot it's moving its way into the run category, being tested now. So it's really outdoor with innovation, and the solutions to the problems that come up in the outdoors really can affect every other sport.
Camp, as an athlete, explain your perspective of what it was like to go from pretty much just an idea to where it's at now. I don't think a lot of people will ever, well, matter of fact, not everybody. I mean, it's a small percentage of individuals will actually go through what you did. And I know Sean, this was his first signature footwear of any kind. So what is it like from your perspective going through that entire process?
From my perspective, I was just waiting for it to get canceled because any time I get pumped about something and fired up, I'm like, this for sure isn't going to happen. This would be way too cool. So it's definitely not going to happen. So the fact that it actually happened, it's amazing.
Both of you guys, what was your favorite moment throughout this process?
This.
Really is this huge weight off our shoulders.
Yeah, just seeing it, and I think anybody can relate is anytime you have a dream come to fruition, that's life, right? That's what it's all about.